Hello and thank you for joining me on another great day in my garage. Today, I'm gonna add some Bluetooth to my Aston. Now I know what you're thinking. Doesn't the Aston already have Bluetooth? Yeah, it does. I can make calls and talk to people and do all the stuff that Bluetooth did in 2007, but it has no music streaming. And for a car that costs this much, I think that should be an option. Fortunately, I'm going to add that option by putting in this aftermarket system. It's called a Dension Gateway 500. And for those of you that want to know the particular part number, it's not here, but okay, it's right over here. Let me try not to have everything fall out of the box. So this is the GW51MO2. They have updated this one. This was basically the system to use for the 2007 Aston Martin Vantage. I don't think that it's officially supported, but it does support Volvo, which is basically the the guts of the audio system in this car. So what it consists of is there's a optical cable. There's the fiber optic cable. It has this. It looks like a USB something for a cradle. Yeah, there's a cradle in here. And here's the actual unit. Looks kind of cool. Dension. And here's all the I/O. Not sure where I'm going to mount this, but we'll get to that soon enough. It also has inputs, left and right, your usual RCA jacks, and I believe this is a switch. It's a reset switch, so you don't have to go into your dash to reset the system if you need. There's also, I'm guessing this is a power wire, and ooh, there's more stuff in here. They packed a lot of stuff in this case. All right, so this looks like the iPod accessory kit. This is the iPod cable. It's a 30-pin. It's not the new Lightning port. And this is going to be integral because while Dension does make a Bluetooth version, they have a 500 Gateway 500 BT. This is not it. And the reason why is because the 500 BT doesn't support the Aston Martin V8 Vantage. It's sort of an antiquated system. It's called a MOST, M-O-S-T, and that just means that the car has these fiber optic cables, and any other system will have some different protocol. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this, the iPod cable, and I also have something called a Vizio Tune to Air. And it's called a WMA1000. I'll show you that in a little bit. And what that does is that basically creates a phantom iPod, and that connects to Bluetooth. So it's basically this is gonna think that we have an iPod connected when we just have any Bluetooth phone or anything that can really transmit Bluetooth and stream music. So that's going to be the most elegant system. I can still use the volume controls and all that stuff. I'm not sure that I'm going to have track information on the display, but honestly, I don't really give a crap. As long as I can control the volume and it has a really good sound quality, that's all I care about. So without further ado, let's start taking this car apart, and yeah, let's get messy. I got a little bit of work done off camera, and it is very finicky, but it's not anything that you can't do on your own. So this is the optical cable, this orange thing. What I did is I just depinned one of the pins going into the stock head unit, that runs into this unit, into the Dension unit, and that basically it creates, like, basically this system, it fools the car into thinking that it's a separate CD changer or something like that. It just basically, the system thinks that everything's fine, everything's stock, but you can just add inputs to this. And what I did is there's a light in and out. Basically, the light inside this cable, it's a fiber optic cable after all, the light has to go in and then the light has to go out, and that goes to different components in the car. So you just follow the diagram. I will be posting, well, I'll see if I can find the diagram online, but it comes with the directions for this. And it's diagram 2B, and it's also the, there's pin switches, there's not pin switches, dip switches. So I'm not sure if you can see that, but there's 6 little dip switches here that you have to, they have to press in a certain sequence, and that is also in the directions. So this would be for a like a Volvo S40, I believe. Yes, it's called installation type 2B. So the cable routing is going to be 2B, and also the dip switches are going to be 2B. So it's pretty simple. The only other thing I have to connect, this is I think the power and the reset and the RCA. This I'll hide underneath here somewhere. I'm not even sure I'm going to need this, but I'm going to have it anyway, just, you know, so I don't have to do this again. But the thing you do have to run is a constant non-switched power, and I actually found one on the underside of the radio. So I took out the radio plug, and for those of you that have an Aston Martin with premium audio, there's one plug and this orange wire right here is power. So it's a switched 12 volt. It's not switched, it's a constant 12 volt power. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to splice into this and connect that to the unit, and then a ground. I'll just use this ground right here, this bolt. I made sure that it was a good ground, and I think we should be good to go. I mean, obviously it's going to need to be sort of compacted into this space, and make sure that it doesn't move around, and make sure that none of these wires get kinked. But I do want to try it out and see if it actually turns on and does everything it's supposed to do. Okay, a few hours have passed because I couldn't put together, I didn't have the right combination of optical cables. There are a few things at play here. So even though it's getting closer to nighttime, I'm going to try to do this as fast as possible. So the CD changer is somewhere in here. There's also a display right here. There's a physical connection, an optical physical connection from the CD changer to the display, and you have to take out the optical cables that go into the display, put them into the Dension unit, and then feed them back into the CD changer. And it's a little bit confusing. I know I said that the installation would be on chart 2B. I'll be linking that in the description below. It's actually one. And the whole thing can be seen in the diagram on 1C. So for those of you who do have a Dension and they do want to, and you have an 07 Vantage, I believe the 08 also, the 06 to 08 had very, very similar components. Yeah, that's the one you need to do. So you need installation 1 with a picture on 1C and dip switches on 2B. So that was a little bit confusing. Now, here's how it works. So I turn on the car, and there should be no real difference. See, I have See, my radio works, and what you do now is you just press the CD button, and instead of basically going to the CD changer, the stock CD changer, it's gonna tell me that I have phone one ready. It's gonna tell me that I have a CD in 5 and 6. I should have more, but I don't have. It depends on how many inputs you have. I don't have a USB stick, so I'm not gonna have that input. But what I want is Bluetooth, and unfortunately, I don't think that it's going to happen today, for one reason. So I have the iPod input, and that's a 30 pin input, and I have this connected to a Tune2 Air. And that's made by Vizio, not the Best Buy brand, but it's a Vizio, and this is called a WMA1000. Now, this is supposed to convert whatever. Let me close the door so the bong doesn't annoy me. So this converts the iPod signal into a Bluetooth signal. I can connect to it with my phone, which is an Android phone. I don't have an Apple phone. I'm sure it would work with an Apple phone, but for some reason, it's not connecting to the Dension unit. And I think it's because the firmware on this unit, this Vizio, is old. Okay, everybody, hold that thought, because I actually did find a solution to get Bluetooth into my Aston Martin. I had to email Vizio, and I had to get something called a product key. So when you upgrade their firmware, you have to download this program, and then the program gives you a product ID, and then you have to email some generic sales email to Vizio. I had no idea that they were still a company. You know, maybe they went out of business some years ago, but I got an email back from them with a product key. I was actually able to upgrade the firmware, which is, I believe, 3.23. For those of you who want to get this Vizio Tune2 Air, make sure that you have the correct firmware. And that firmware, in the firmware notes, said specifically, this allows Android phones to be used with the Dension 500. So what are the odds of that? What I did was I just installed it, and now we should have Bluetooth music streaming in my Aston Martin. Okay, now that everything's sort of clean, here's the install. So I open this up, and this is a iPod cable from the Alpine that I'm not using. I don't even know if it works. I mean, it never actually worked. But here is the iPod cable for the Dension, and here's the Tune2 Air with the brand new firmware on it. And over here you can see the reset button and the RCA cables. So everything does make for a clean install. So what happens when I turn it on, let me just get my phone on top of the car and try to slide in. It is weird sitting on the passenger seat, actually. All right, so we turn this on, and this lights up and this lights up, so it's already connected. I already did the there we go.
Phone 1 ready.
Apart from me having to charge my phone, my Bluetooth is working. So let's play some music. All right, one thing you'll notice before we play any music is that this is on iPod UI mode, which essentially means that the iPod isn't, like, there's two different modes. There's iPod UI mode and iPod gateway mode. And gateway mode basically means that you can see track titles and stuff here, but you have to control it with the actual radio, which sucks. The interface for the gateway, for the Dension, is horrible if you have to go through here. So, and plus I don't have an iPod or iPhone, so I just usually do it from my phone. So here goes. Hope you guys like some Opeth. Oh, there we go. Yeah, that is good. All right, that's enough. And that's enough to hopefully not get a copyright claim against me. But yeah, the volume and the quality is quite good. So yeah, this is a win. I'm going to be putting links to everything I used in the description below. But this little guy, Tune to Air, you can find it for about $80. I think I bought mine for a little less than that. And the Dension itself, I think it was like $380 shipped. Now this is a little bit annoying. That's why I put it in the glove box, because this does not turn off. Well, it turns off after you turn the car off, but the entire time the Dension is running, this doesn't turn off. So maybe if it's somewhere, you know, down there by your feet and it's just illuminating the entire car, then maybe you could put a piece of tape over it or something. But and this also lets you know that the CD changer, whether it's in CD changer mode, which is that open circle, not open circle, but not filled in circle, and the filled in circle means that the Dension unit is on. So you can switch through these, and if you want to actually have CDs in the changer, then you can still do that. So it'll retain all the stock functions if you want those. But yeah, I mean, for around $400 something, it is a good, it is a decent system. And I know that that's a lot of money for some of you. You can say that, oh, you can get an entire aftermarket system for that amount of money. Yeah, you probably could. I wanted to retain the stock look. I think it's very, very clean. And if I were to go with Aston Martin for a Bluetooth solution, would have been around between $1,500 and $2,000. So that was not an option for me. I don't want to spend that kind of money when I can just spend maybe a few $100 and get the exact same thing. For those of you who are asking if it in any way hinders the phone controls, then no, it doesn't, because Android phones and iPhones, they have ability to connect to more than one, actually like multiple. You can connect to a lot of different Bluetooth enabled devices at the same time. So while this is connected to the car for the phone, it is also connected to the Dension unit, which is, you know, in here somewhere. So, and it switches between the two very well. So if I get a call, the car takes it just as it would, as if it were stock. So this basically pauses. This says disk paused. And then I take the call, get off the call, and then go back to whatever I was listening to, just like a stock system. The only thing that's not stock is the fact that I have to go into the auxiliary mode by pressing CD. And also it says Disc 5 Track 1. So this, I mean, you can't really, this display doesn't really correspond to anything that's going on. But this is a small price to pay. Like, I don't really care. It's a small display. It doesn't really piss me off that much. And this is a really good addition to this Aston Martin. So guys, I think that's it. I was gonna be not too convinced that I can make this work, but in the last moments, I really, you know, well, the gods of Bluetooth have shined a light upon my modding on this car. So if you get the Tune to Air, the WMA 1000, make sure that you have the right firmware, because otherwise it's just not going to work. I know the older firmware will work with iPhones, even the new ones like the 6S and whatever new iPhone. I'm not an iPhone guy, so I don't know what new ones are coming out. But you can just as well get a 30-pin to a lightning adapter and have that work there. So yeah, it's a pretty good solution. There's a lot of, you know, daisy chaining going on, but I think for the money, it's well worth it. And you can hide everything and make it to be, you know, more of an OEM, at least an OEM look of a solution. So yeah, I'm really happy with that. So if you liked the video, please please leave a like and comment if you can, and subscribe. You know, I always enjoy that stuff. If you didn't like the video, dislike button, the unlike button is right there. Nobody's stopping you. But for now, I am very happy, and I'm gonna go drive this thing with my new tunes. So yeah, see you again next time.